today is supposed to be incredibly hot. Heat index is like 107.
Everybody's scrambling. It's like a bay-wide thing.
All my crabs are dead. Who the heck turned the tank off? Crab pots are dirty, and they are so bad at this point, and they won't catch crabs, and we'll have to bring them in and power wash a failure to myself as a crabber. Things are falling apart around me here. Oh, that's pretty metal. Look at that. That crab is carrying around a shedded carcass of what his girlfriend used to be, and he ate it. That's so evil. That's like some Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. That crab's doubled up on a shell, and here's the dead crab. Here's the crab that came out of the shell, the soft crab. But he ate her face off, and is now carrying around her empty carcass. That's hardcore. See, that crab's got a soft crab, and they're doing it missionary style. This is the foreplay where he carries her around for like a week or two. And then after she sheds into a mature female, he gets it done.
Well, today was a hell of a lot less painful than the Friday before Father's Day. It didn't take us 9 hours to haul 500, partially because there was not many crabs. I guess they just showed up to say hi and then left, because I had them that day, but today was back to nothing. So I guess it was truly a Father's Day blessing. A lot of people are asking about these gloves too, and why am I wearing them? A lot of pictures with crabs and whole and wearing these, and people are like, oh, you're wearing gloves. No. We wear these gloves underneath of these gloves so that your hands just don't turn into a nasty, stinky, fruity mess. Your hands a little cleaner and a little more dry. You can imagine the inside of these gloves gets wore down and pretty nasty pretty quick. So this goes under here. I've been getting my time out of these. We painted crab pots with these like 2 years ago. I found them in the truck last year. I used them for months, and they just keep holding up for now. They're broke in though. Got old crab pot paint on them. Nice set of gloves or Atlas something, Fleece Line, something or another. Got a horseshoe crab. Been seeing a lot more of these here lately. You can tell this one is male. It's got these little hooks for arms here instead of claws. So that's so it can grab onto the back of the female horseshoe crab and hold on to it on the edges of the shells when they go to mate. They'll ride around and kind of attached to each other. They're also a little kinky. I've seen 2 or 3 or 4 of them all attached to each other as well. Prior to contrary belief, the tail on these cannot hurt you. They're pretty harmless little critters, honestly. They look tough, but nothing really is that sharp. These just bend over, and the tail is not poisonous or anything. Like I've heard people say, it's just to flip them back over if they get turned over like a turtle. They got little eyeballs. They're kind of cool looking little things. Got all kinds of little feet on them. They look like real live aliens. 280 million year old living fossils. Pretty neat. We don't bother them. So we have the world's largest soft crab that shed out that's now a paper shell. We're gonna write something on it and throw it back. I wrote the boat name. If you catch this crab, take a picture and tag me. Got some tiny little mature females shed out. They call them peewees on Smith Island. Paper shells. Right there, the blue catfish. Which is pretty much eating all the crabs. It's an invasive species that has been around for a while. The Virginia DNR actually introduced this to the Potomac River as a game fish because they didn't think that they could spread. And they have now worked their way into every single last corner of the Chesapeake Bay. They can live in freshwater, saltwater, brackish water, and everywhere in between. These things are actually amazing eating. We love to eat them. And that's what I have the Weebo set up for, is to long line catch these in the spring. And the funny thing is, we really never used to catch them that were this size. Everyone we ever caught was really big, so we would almost never see them in crab pots because they were too big to fit in a crab pot. This year, I've seen more juvenile ones than I ever have. This is a perfect eating size, too. They're a ton of fun to catch. There's a lot of them around. They're easy to catch, and they taste great. I'm trying to get rid of them, so do your part. Go out, go fishing, catch yourself an invasive blue cat, have it for dinner. We are not going to let this guy go because this ain't going to happen. I ain't going to throw back an invasive species. If we catch one, you ought to dispatch it, get rid of it, just take it home and eat it. We'll give it to the neighbors, whatever. Bury it in the garden. Great fertilizer, too, actually. I got some people that get the carcasses from me and use them as fertilizer. Check this crab out. It's got a white claw, like a straight, white, translucent claw.
We only catch a couple of these like this one a year. I think they're partially leucistic is what it's called, which it's not albinism, it's something else. Leucism, I guess is what they call it, but pretty neat. I don't know if he shed, if he would have it when he grew back or not, but pretty interesting. We catch them with all kinds of weird claws and stuff like that. Ooh, don't get away.
Well, crabs fell off again today. I'll tell you, this year has not been consistent whatsoever. It has been all over the place. We will have them one day, and then the very next day they are gone. And I've seen boats I ain't never seen before in my life all over the place. Everybody's scrambling. It's like a bay-wide thing right now. All the guys I'm talking to, Jason over there on the Tanya Lynn, ain't had anything. I ain't had much. CJ ain't had much. I mean, I've done fished rows that were near stone empty today, which is crazy because it's almost July. But we had them the time before. That's just nuts. They're just doing their thing. We didn't catch them all up. They turn on, they turn off. That's called vacation when you lose money, when you're spending money to go to work. We went on vacation today.
We're trying some chips with the seasoning. It's coming soon here. Or we got things in the works at least. We got crinkle cut chips and kettle chips. Maybe I'll just ask the people what they want. I just put up a thing. There you go.
They can't do it right, they don't do it. They are also constantly trying to figure out how to do it better. They truly want to make everybody's experience the absolute best. I think it just speaks to who they are as people.
Awesome job. All good?
Yeah, we're good. Thanks.
All right, sweet. We're gonna be shooting a documentary. It's our 50th year anniversary, so we're just shooting a little bit with them. Honored to be part of it. So one of the issues that we were having today is the burner contraption that I built to clean my crab pots is having some problems. It's not anything that major. It's just mostly a lack of basic maintenance that I've been not doing, I guess. But I do happen to have an identical spare just in here. If you don't call your wife to help you move something into the truck, you ain't no crab, right? Well, that's the machine I need. This is the one that's in front of it that I guess needs to get moved. That one's in good shape. Actually, it works pretty well. Just ugly. This was my old one. It still works actually, but it's in pretty good shape too. I grabbed the handle to try to move it and it just exploded. Mint. Still works. Oh Lord. Probably shouldn't do that. I still gotta get it back in there. Gotta store it inside. Wouldn't want it to get rusty, you know? It's significantly lighter now. Crabbing's been so bad that I've had to set up an auxiliary business, a self-serve dead peelers for $1 a piece. You just come here, grab whichever one you want, one of my failed soft crabs, it's about stiff as a board, and you put the money somewhere, preferably not the shrimp. Gotta get creative these days. So it turns out replacing that's gonna be a lot bigger job than I thought, probably a whole day's job, which I should have known. Wondering if I can at least replace the fuel tank, because part of the problem I think is that the fuel is nasty. The fuel's got a bunch of water in it. I don't think it's burning that hot. Also, pro tip, if your water pump has a rod knot, just give her a couple taps here and there. It's either gonna fix the problem or completely put a nail in the coffin. So have a decision either way. Usually you can get a little more life out of them that way. What I am gonna do though, is rob the fuel tank off of this one. It's got a fancy fuel tank on it. I've been using this outboard tank, which still works fine, but it needs sealed up or something better because it's just getting water in it, I guess. Now the diesel's all full of water, so I'm gonna try to start fresh with a new tank. Deal with this one at a later date. This is now the 3rd day that I made coffee at my house and then forgot it at my house. So shout out 7-Eleven for always being there and overcharging the crap out of me for coffee. Dude, $2.59 for this? That seems like a lot. That seems steep. It's not even good coffee, really. It's not bad. It's all right. It's not bad for gas station coffee. Where's my keys? This week has been a little bit of a just try to get through it week. Very, very hot. And the crabs have not been there, so it's been a little grueling. I've actually been very, very busy, but not with anything constructive. Honestly, I've spent most of the week this week after work working on all the things that we are rolling out. New designs by Dark Seas. We have a new shirt coming out. We have a sun shirt coming out. We're reprinting more t-shirts. Lots of food lines coming out. We're trying to get into retail here ASAP. So we have crab cakes, crab soup, we have crab dip, crab chips, which is what I'm really, really excited about. That you guys should be able to buy, hopefully in retail, in a bag, which would be really wild to see like my own chips in the store. That'd be really cool. I'd love to see it. It's just taking a lot of time here because we're trying to do it right. And I've never done this before. Trying to nail it on the first shot. I'm gonna try to do a record time water pump change here this morning. First off, what we're not gonna do is disconnect the battery terminals because you ain't no good. I've done these quite a few times, so see how I can figure out how to screw it up this time. There it is. Okay. Forgot to shut the valve off. Oops. John already went out fishing. This morning?
Yeah.
Did you guys see him?
Yeah.
He looks scary when
He was out at like 5 o'clock on the dot.
It's scary when you see him walk by with fly rods. Looks like the boogeyman, huh? He does look like the boogeyman. Yeah, I know. I have all the proper tools to do this correctly, but I don't know where any of them are. Up in that toolbox, there's a little blue handle stainless wire brush. Pro tip here. And you didn't use nickel plate wire, you just wire brush your wires before you do them up. Turn the sump pump switch on for a second.
Is it on?
I don't know. Yep.
You just turn it off?
Yeah.
Sound like me at
Taco Bell.
You have a lighter or something to melt the heat shrinks? This is abnormal. Usually I'm trying to use a lighter to like burn the wires. I don't even have a lighter. All I had was this lousy heat gun. All I had was the lousy proper tool.
Wait off loading bait.
Yeah, hold off on the loading the bait real quick so I can get this pump put in. Somebody go up there and flip that sump pump switch. Okay. Here's the thing. That burner that heats the water to keep the crab pots clean is not working properly. That means my crab pots are dirtier than they have been in years and years and years and years. Just very bothersome. They shouldn't be that dirty. I don't like them that dirty. I like them very nice and clean, like brand new looking clean. So I've been trying to... Is it not working? But first, the machine wasn't getting hot enough. And now it's getting too hot. And it's just turning everything to steam, even though I replaced the pump. So we have two problems today. Number one, the bait is all completely frozen into a block because I didn't take it out the night before. Number two is that yesterday, all week, this burner has not been getting hot enough. So the crab pots got dirty. So yesterday, I found out that the fuel was completely full of water. So I replaced the whole fuel tank and the filter, and then replaced the water pump as well because the water pump wasn't working properly. It was all wore out. And now it's getting so hot that it's turning to steam. So now we're having the opposite problem. Maybe I should have just replaced the water pump and then run fuel with the water in it. Really, it was water with some fuel in it. That seems like a Luke solution. It seemed like it was clogged up, so I pulled this apart and this screw fell out of the hose. So it did seem like this was clogging it up, but it seemed like it fixed it for about 5 minutes, and now it's doing the same exact thing it was before, and I have no idea where this screw could have possibly come from. If the crab pots stay dirty, then they won't catch crabs, and we'll have to bring them in and power wash them or power wash them on the boat, which I despise. It'll be a failure to myself as a crabber if I power wash these crab pots on the boat. That is not the way it's done. Things are falling apart around me here. Can't even get the tank filled up because the freaking thing keeps... The water turns to steam in here, and then it starts steaming off. Very frustrating. I don't know what happened. I was not hot enough, and now it's too freaking hot. I'm just too good. I solved the problem too well, I guess. Just have to unbolt it, throw it overboard, I suppose. The problem is this pump is now, like, so hot you can barely touch it, but the wires aren't hot. I don't know what the deal is. I suspect that the problem with the pump is some kind of connection problem. I'm going to try to just hardwire this pump right to the battery today. It's got a pressure switch, so it's not going to blow up or something. Actually, it might. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying that for, like, so you guys ain't crying about it until it happens. I had the freaking stuff to do it, and I left it in the truck. Look at these pieces of crap. Ah, it's so frustrating. Okay, we have the tiniest set of freaking pliers. Need a solution here. So we cannot let these pots go another day without getting clean. They will be a freaking mess. If we do that, we're going to create 2 weeks worth of work for us without catching crabs. A little bit of a Hail Mary. We were using a spare piece of wire, some junk connections and whatever. We're gonna try to jerry rig this thing, get it to work for the rest of the day. We only have 2 of these left, so I cannot be screwing these things up. I just need it to work for the day, although this may be temporarily permanent if it does work too well. All right, let's see if this works. No.
Messed up one of my last connections. Oh, I'm gonna cut these connections I just did. Hope it's worth it. Somebody grab me a couple of zip ties. Alright, this is kind of a sketchy temporary fix, but you gotta do what you gotta do here. Hope this works. Alright, so we got the water pump, which is still acting funny, but I haven't got these tight yet, so it's just hardwired for now right to the batteries. It has a pressure switch, so anytime that we're not using it, it should just build pressure and shut off. Should be no different than flipping the switch in the cabin, in theory. Let's see. Okay, because this pump should move more than enough water. I think it's a combination of being clogged up there and this pump having intermediate power. All right, should be pretty much squared away. Let's see if this works. Of course, I don't have the right hammers. I did not fix it. I don't know what else to do. And to check it, I have to put the boat in gear, because if not, water just runs up these scupper holes and down into this hatch I'm trying to work in. Which doesn't help the situation, I'm sure. Yeah, that's great. A lot of water in the bilge. It's not good at all. Very bad, actually. Okay, now the pump seems to be working again. Doesn't make any sense. 7 a.m. now. We haven't touched a crab pot. Fighting the battle since 4. Let's get after it and try to get this done. I have to babysit that pump all day, I guess. See this pot? All covered in this brown stuff. That's dirty. My pots ain't been that dirty in a long time. Brought the chips in that we're coming out with, so you guys can try them. What do you think? Better than us. Better than us. I'll take it. Try some, little boy. What do you think, little boy? Oh yeah. Pretty good, all right? Uh-huh. He ain't allowed to have any. Eat them all. Try to eat them all before you come.
Pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. Where you sample all 3?
Those are kettle chips and those are ruffle chips.
Yeah, ruffles. I'm gonna try ruffles. Oh yeah. That's where it's at.
Like them? Good?
Ruffles on top.
Pretty good.
Couple cool crabs here. We got one that you can see his shell is split like that. And that's because he come up somebody's pot and he was junk. He was a light crab. And somebody squeezed him to make sure and cracked his shell and threw him back. Now this is proof that if you throw the lights back, they come back on board, worth a lot more money. We throw back the lights most of the time. If I have market for them, I will keep some and sell them at the stand when crabbing's tight and hard as a rock. And we got this one, and this is what's commonly referred to as a rusty crab. You can see his belly is totally brown and rust colored, and that is a good crab. The rustier, the darker, the higher the quality of the crab. People get these crabs sometimes. I've even had people bring them back to me and say, oh, there's something wrong with this crab. Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that crab. It's great. It's a great crab. Good as they get. That's a telltale sign of a really nice crab. They get that from hanging out in the mud and eating and getting fat. This crab is a healthy, fat crab. Probably won't ever shed again. Seen a little sign of shell rot, which is just one more sign of a really nice, healthy crab. I know that doesn't sound like it, but that's what they get when they hang out in the mud. They get right. So, good high quality crab there. You can buy right from me in multiple different ways. You can get that crab at 7333 East Furnace Branch Road in Glen Burnie on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 3, which is my crab stand. You can come buy them right from me, or you can now get them shipped. Order online, put the link in the description there. You can order these actual crabs that I am catching, get inventoried, then I get a list of how many crabs need to get sent out that day, put them in a bag, put them in a truck, drive them to Jimmy's Famous Seafood. They steam them, they cool them down, they pack them, and then they send them to your house with everything you need to eat them, including hammers, hand wipes, tablecloth, you name it, they got it. Extra seasoning, you can have it. There's There's no excuse now. If you like crabs, if you're a crab fan, you're an ex-Maryland person, if you just want to try them. We also got lots more products coming out, which I'm really excited to share with you guys, that involve my crabs. So, in the end, oddly enough, I created arguably worse problem than I had before by trying to fix the problem that I was trying to solve. So, that's not like a Luke dilemma. I don't know what is. I think that I just need to like get a live well pump or something and hook it to that instead of this pressure pump. If anybody knows how to rewire a boat, wants to, I'll pay you to come do this whole boat, because it's not that bad. I've fixed it a bunch of times and this and that. I would just like for it to be right. And I cannot find anybody anywhere around here that can or wants to do it, I guess. Drop a comment if you can or want to. Let me know. Well, the incredibly frustrating part about today was pretty much every part of today. Did not catch many crabs. Tried to solve a problem and ended up causing an even worse, more dangerous problem that I still can't solve. There's a good chance we are gonna have to take an entire day off so I could get this right. Kind of spinning our wheels without this problem being solved. Crab pots are dirt, and every day that you don't check them and clean them, they get dirty. And they are so bad at this point, you get one more day behind and they're gonna be, I mean, almost unfixable unless you bring them in power wash. So the fact that I tried to fix the problem because they were already at that point and then created another problem, so now they're gonna be worse, and then I have to take a day off to fix the problem, I'm pretty much screwed either way. Incredibly frustrating. Today is supposed to be incredibly hot, what, like 90? 95. Yeah, and we gotta sell crabs today, and I always feel terrible because people are always roasting in the sun, standing there waiting for crabs, and so we're gonna go to Walmart right now. I'm gonna try to hopefully buy some pop-up tents. I hope to have some, I don't know, because a lot of times they're sold out in the summer. What else we're gonna get? Oh, it's gonna get drinks and stuff.
Drinks, and look for a chalkboard.
And some fans. I was gonna try to get a couple fans, box fans. It'd be nice to have some big box fans, you know. You know, water, tents, bunch of fans, all the profit from the day sitting in these carts. Once again, shout out to my awesome neighbors here at Birdland. My buddy Jason here, I traded him my motorcycle to use electricity at my place for the summer, which is a great trade for both of us because I don't need to be getting hurt riding a motorcycle anymore. He wanted a motorcycle and I need electricity. The old school bartering here. Good guy, check him out. Here they are, there you go. Give him a call. Nice people. And he likes motorcycles. Maybe you could trade him your motorcycle for some kitchen work or something, I don't know. All right, team meeting, ready to go, everybody? Army here, and quite a few people lined up as well. Pretty good for an average, whatever, Friday. Saturday. I don't even know what day it is. And check these out. We got these awesome coal sticks. You can buy these too, 30 bucks. So today I am glad I went and bought the tents, and I got a bunch of waters and ice and everything, and a bunch of fans and another extension cord and all this stuff, because we had, the line's died down now, but we had a line all the way out around the road. I'm glad people aren't dying here because it is very, very, very hot. Heat has been hard on equipment, it's been hard on the crew, it's been hard on us, and it's been hard on the crabs in particular. And so now I knew it was gonna be hard on the people. So I appreciate everybody's patience waiting in this long line. So by the time you get here, I got free drinks and shade, free shade as well. I'm charged for the shade. I just showed up to the marina and my crab tank is off and all my crabs are dead. All my peelers, all my soft crabs. Who the heck turned the tank off? Look, all my peelers from the whole week, all my soft crabs, everything's dead. How the heck did that happen? They're not even any good for bait. They're too hot. They're nasty. I mean, they might be okay for bait, but oof, kind of stink. Look at this. We got some survivors. These are the smart ones that found shelter. Almost feel like we need to let them go to the breeding stock. That's what we need. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna turn the pump back on and hopefully sell them at next weekend at the crab stand, but it was a good thought. That is such a bummer, man. That was a pile of peelers.
How many you got live at 5?
Yep, we got the last 5. Ah! No, I'm good. Well, I'm driving home. I just left the marina and realized about 5 minutes away that I forgot to plug the soft crab tank back in after I filled it up again. So I think I may have also solved the mystery as to who unplugged the tank this morning. I think it was me. I think I was the main culprit. Well, we sold most of the crabs today, but not all the crabs. We will be open again tomorrow.
which is Sunday. Sometimes it gets so hot that it turns people off from buying crabs. A lot of people want to eat them inside, or don't want to eat them inside, I mean, which is weird. Doesn't make any sense to me. We are trucking on, keep it on, keep it on. Heat index is like 107 or something. And I don't even know what I'm doing going out there selling crabs, but we're gonna do it anyway. I even got a few more crabs to sell today. I'm going to pick up a couple 100 pounds of ice to put into the fridge to help keep that cool, and for drinks for people today. The tent and the ice was a good idea because I think people would have keeled over and died yesterday at the crab stand. I just hope we can sell all these crabs because they are dying really fast. It's very sad to me that weeks like this, when it's super, super, super hot, so many dead crabs. You just can't do anything about it. You gotta catch and sell twice the crabs to make the same money. They just don't live in the heat. It's been a bit of a fiasco here at the crab stand. Can't find the square readers or the cash box or any of that stuff. I have no idea where it is. I've turned my truck over, the house, everything. I hope it turns up. Speaking from the shedding tank experience, I probably lost it, put it somewhere and forgot about it. I don't know. It's been a crazy week. It's been a bit of a struggle. We've been having to go brake change different places and make people wait and just have those days in business sometimes. That paired with the heat and whatever else, it's been a little bit of a tense day. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get through it. Check these things out. We have actually sold quite a few of these. And it's hot, so we're getting snowballs. It's a Maryland staple here. You don't like snowballs, you ain't no crab. Got everybody hooked up. Keeping them cool. Brought some lunch for us. I appreciate it. It's Rocco's Pizza, right?
Yes, sir.
Where we're at?
I'm the owner.
Gotcha.
Ritchie Highway up by the courthouse.
Beautiful.
Been there for 53 years.
Wow. And he brought us some pizza for us today. Everybody's hungry. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, we're packed up here. This Sunday, we pretty much sold all the crabs. We have a couple left. But the way I have it set up is that all the crabs that we don't sell on Sunday go to Jimmy's Famous Seafood, and then they get steamed and processed to be shipped out that week for all the people that ordered crabs for delivery. So nothing goes to waste here. We have very little dead loss except for what dies because of the heat or something like that. It's not like we're throwing crabs away. Every crab that we have left over from the weekend does get used and sold and shipped. That's what we use to ship anywhere in the country. And if we don't have enough for that, then we will process them and then save them for another project that we're working on. Hopefully it can be available to you all year round. Excited to roll that out to you as well. Should be pretty soon. I got the convoy, my convoy of old crappy diesel Fords. Actually, it's getting better now with this truck. 7.3, love that truck. And my old crappy wood boat. So we using what we got, we making it happen. And I appreciate everybody coming out this weekend. It was great.